Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You could be the hero, you could get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try?
Do it for your country, do it for your name. Cause there's gonna be a day when you're
standing in the Hall of Fame.
yeah.
And the world's gonna know your name.
Yeah.
Cause you burn with the burst flame.
Yeah.
And the world's gonna know your name.
Yeah.
And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame.
Be a champion. Be a champion. Be a champion. Be a champion.
Walls of the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. Cause you burn with the burst flame. And the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame.
That was so spontaneous, thank you. Good evening. What a great way to kick off tonight's ceremony. It's our 28th annual Hall of Fame induction. Tonight we are thrilled to welcome our 2024 Hall of Fame class, which includes 2 new Hall of Fame inductees and our Lifetime Achievement Award honoree. I'm Mike Stewart, and I'm honored to be your MC tonight. And this is truly one of my favorite nights of the year. It always is. Before we get started, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about myself because the evening really is about me. I am the president of the Rittner Pride and Promise Foundation, and I am a proud member of the Rittner class of 1978. And if my math is correct, and I know Mrs. Eaton would ensure that my math is correct, this is my 9th year hosting this event. I'd like to personally thank the Hall of Fame Committee for allowing me to handle these duties each year. Clearly, they have not researched my sordid past or seen any of my TikTok challenges. So until they catch on, I'm going to keep coming back and doing this. Tonight, not only do we celebrate 3 terrific honorees, but we also celebrate our entire Rittner community. Tonight's ceremony marks the kickoff of homecoming weekend here at Rittner. And so it's great to see all of you here. I believe tonight, in fact, is the largest crowd we've had in our Hall of Fame history. 268 attendees, which is 50 more than our highest ever. And I'm so glad you all came out to see me. Actually, it's a testament to our wonderful inductees, so congratulations. It's a wonderful night to be a Husky. For those of you who have not been to Rittner in a while, how about these amazing facilities? Is this a great place? This theater? This theater is just one of many investments the district has made in the past several years, and improvements are continuing. I know a group went on a tour earlier. How many went on the tour? Some of you went on a little tour, yes? How many, I mean, the facilities are amazing, right? I mean, I hope you got to see most all of the tour, got to see most all of the new renovations. How many graduates, Rittner graduates are in the room here tonight? Show of hands. Tremendous. Well, welcome back to Rittner. If you haven't been here in a while, welcome back. I'd like to recognize one Rittner graduate in particular. actually my favorite Rittner graduate of all time. She is also a member of the Rittner class of 1978, and that's my wife, Laurie. She swore she would kick me out if I told this story again. So here's the story. Almost 47 years ago, we had our first date. It was just 200 yards from here at Moore Stadium. We went to a Husky football game. Then, of course, our big night included a trip to Pizza Hut on Natural Bridge. I'm pretty sure I had the salad bar. And of course, she paid. So it was a great night. Unfortunately, we lost the football game, which was not uncommon back then. But as luck would have it, it was the start of a lifelong love story. And in a little more than a month from now, we will be celebrating our 41st anniversary. How about that? And they said it would never last. There are so many stories like ours, stories that began right here at Rittner High, and tonight we're going to hear a lot more amazing stories from our honorees. So let's get started. The Rittner Hall of Fame was established in 1997 to honor graduates who have demonstrated outstanding professional accomplishments, civic involvement, and community service. The portraits of 108 Hall of Fame members and 12 Lifetime Achievement Award honorees proudly are displayed in our auditorium lobby. I hope you all had a chance to look at the portraits while you were at dinner tonight. So to officially begin tonight's ceremony, it is my honor to introduce someone who has done a magnificent job as our Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education and our administrator here at Rittner High School. Please welcome Dr. Bruce Green.
Thank you. I was concerned that I would not be welcomed with the same round of applause. Good evening again. It is an honor as well as a privilege to welcome each of our inductees back home, and also to welcome all of the Rittner graduates that are in the auditorium back home. Thank you for being here. It's truly an honor to be at the helm of the Rittner High School to serve our 2,100 Huskies and our 206 dedicated educators and support staff. As a lifetime St. Louisan, I have been long aware of the incredible legacy that Rittner High School and its alumni have in our region and beyond. This year's senior class is the largest that we've had in a long time. We have 522 Huskies in this year's senior class. And we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they all cross the stage at the end of this academic year. I want to give you a few highlights from the class of 2024. That class earned over $10 million in scholarship potential. And nearly 120 of those students graduated with Latin honors. We have expanded opportunities for our high schoolers with our emphasis on our 3 E's, which are enroll in college, enter employment, or enlist in the military. We're thankful for our partnership with St. Louis Community College, where our students can now graduate with both a high school diploma as well as an associate's degree without any out-of-pocket costs. So just a few highlights from the class of 2024. 60 students earned an A or B in their dual enrollment courses at the St. Louis Community College, where combined they earned 684 credits. Now, if you think that's impressive, those students saved over $500,000 in tuition by participating in our dual enrollment program. Also in that, I want to highlight a student, Kaylin Wooten. She's one of 37 students worldwide, that's 4 in the United States, to receive a full tuition scholarship to the University of Toronto. You know, our students can also take advantage of advanced placement courses and college credit classes while in high school, so they can start ahead of many freshmen that go on to college. For some of our students who plan to go the employment route after graduation, we're partnering with Amoresco. And that partnership for this year, we're going to connect students who are interested in going into the trades with an after-school club that will help them make connections. In a few weeks, we will also connect our students to leaders in different trades as part of a panel discussion. I'm extremely proud of our career counselors, where they help students find internships at local companies, as well as prepare them for solid employment opportunities after they graduate. Another bragging point for the class of 2024. We had 4 students participate in the Daughtery program, which guarantees them employment in coding after graduation. And when it comes to supporting students who want to enlist in the military, I am so proud of our new Army JROTC program, which started last year. We've nearly doubled enrollment in this program, and since last year, we have over 100 cadets. Upon graduation, Upon graduation, they will be able to enlist at a higher rank or go to college with substantial scholarships. In fact, this past May, we had a cadet who earned an $81,000 scholarship to the University of Missouri St. Louis thanks to this program. A few more bragging points under the enlistment. In the class of 2024, we had 11 students from this class that enlisted in the military following graduation. As been mentioned, I know some of you have toured the building before dinner, but for those of you that have not been to the building in a while, I have to brag again about our new fitness center that really rivals those of some colleges you and I have attended. We also have an impressive renovated cafeteria that looks like it belongs in a college student center than in a public school. These projects were both finished since last year's homecoming and were paid for by a 2020 bond issue that was passed by our voters. So as we celebrate tonight, I'm reminded of the profound impact that a high school education can have on a person's life. We're not here just to honor our inductees, we're here to celebrate the transformative power of education. I am proud to witness that Rittner High School is the place that nurtures our students' dreams, help them discover the passion and sow seed for greatness. As we look to the future, we know that our school legacy is not just about the past, it's about the impact that we made today and the influence we will have on generations to come. Each one of us in this room plays a crucial role in shaping the leaders of tomorrow. I do want to thank all of you who are here tonight and being a part of this incredible evening. Together, we celebrate not only the achievements of our Hall of Fame inductees, but also the enduring spirit of our school community. These stories inspire us to reach for the stars, to overcome obstacles, and to make a positive impact on the world. I'd now like to take a moment to recognize some special people who are with us to celebrate our inductees tonight. If you're able, would you please stand as I call your name? So welcome back to the following former Hall of Fame inductees. We'll start with Dr. George Allen III, 2022. Warner Baxter, 2010. Rex Burleson, 2019. The 2016 Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Ken Crowder. Inaugural class, 1997, Julie Maxie Ferguson. Deron Jenkins, 2022. 2012. I'm not sure if this gentleman is here in 2012, Mike Stewart, anyone know him? Don Thompson, Lifetime Achievement Award recipient 2021. Lifetime Achievement Award recipient in 2013, Bill Wessler. Bill Wirtz, 2019. And Jerry Zeichen, 2022. We also have former Board of Education members here tonight. Dr. George Allen III. Tom Drennan. Ruth Bell Greco. LaRue Holland. And Michael Roman. And now we'd like to introduce our current Rittner Board of Education members. We have two directors, Lisa Glover-Jones and Vanessa Henriquez-Pemblock. They weren't able to attend tonight's event, but they send their regards. I'm also proud to introduce our student representative for Rittner High School, Alizea Ray Smith. Dr. Stacey Alma Wilson. Director Penny Gardner. Director Robbie. Vice President Jennifer Lonis. And now, it is my honor to introduce the President of Rittner School District Board of Education, Dr. Brad Thomas.
Good evening. And isn't this a nice night? To honor the Rittner graduates of the past, to build on the future, and on the shoulders of giants we shall do so. And you are those giants. They told you a lot about what's going on in Rittner, how many people we have here tonight, which is a record for an event for this room. They introduced to you the awardees of the past. So with all that put together, let me tell you some other things that are going on in your Rittner School District. We have an award-winning preschool system program, statewide award-winning program. They are rated now the number one program in the state of Missouri. Yes. Your school district, the Rittner School District, is leading the state in competency-based learning. Okay, what's that? Well, it's a big, long thing about how we change education. It is also the basis for the next accreditation cycle. The Rittner School District is developing that. We are the first school district in the state to implement this new program, K-12. We are leading the way in education in the state of Missouri. Just so you know. Other things, our buildings are rated now in some of the best in the county because of the efforts of Mike Smith and others that have planned out how to keep our buildings the best. I think a lot of us, when we went to school, and I am a 1977 graduate of the Rittner School District, My mother would always tell me that the whole time we went to school, we could not pass a bond issue, we could not pass a tax increase. And at one point, our school district's buildings were rated at the worst in the state. Now they're in some of the best. Big change, right? Yeah. The Board of Education that I am so honored to work with, student-centered, focused. There are no infighting as you see in some school districts. There's no change away from being student-centered. We are there, every student, every day. And that's something that we can say is our unofficial motto. We also say, when we say we're going to do it, we get it done and we do that. Okay? It's just not propaganda. We get things done here in Rittner. What else is going on here in Rittner? Did you guys get to see the weight room? Looked a little bit different than the weight room we had here, right? You know, the four-sided weight room that we call the weight room in big classes? Yeah, that weight room rivals any college weight room with a full-time trainer to take care of all of our athletes. See our cafeteria up there. Not the cafeteria that we sat in, was it? A little bit different? A little better? Planning, execution, making it something good for our students so that they can come here and learn. Did anyone tell you about the Army ROTC program that we have here? We have over 60 kids in that program. 60 kids ready to join our armed forces. In a very short period of time, that grew to that much. It was a few years old. On the things that we built when we went to school here, we are there now. We are a destination school district for a lot of immigrants, as we have an international welcome center where kids can go that do not speak English and can learn their academics and can learn our language and be successful in our school district and within our community. Does everybody remember where St. Kevin's over in St. Anne? You know who owns that? Come on, that's an easy one. The Rittner School District just bought that so that we can expand some of our programs. Okay? We are looking toward the future as much as we honor the past and our traditions of the past, and that's why we're here now, to honor the people that we have built upon. Your successes we brag about to our students so that our students know Rittner graduates have achieved far beyond a graduation and a diploma. Mike Stewart said it, we have 108 Hall of Fame inductees, 12 Lifetime Achievement people. That's an exclusive group compared to how many graduates we've had just since I left here. To all of you from our community, the 9 municipalities that make up the Rittner School District. Can you name all 9, by the way? Can you name all 9 of them? Okay. From all of the people that I call my neighbors in those municipalities, I thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for being a Rittner graduate and alumni. And thank you for being here, a record amount of people here to honor our inductees. For all those things, I humbly thank you all, because we have some superstars out here in this audience. I am in awe. Thank you all for being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the night.
That was my bad. Thank you so much, Dr. Green, Dr. Thomas. I'm very fortunate in the role that I play with the foundation, that I get to see all the great improvements and things being done around the district here, and I'm very proud to be an alum and see the district continue to grow and get better every day. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Rittner Foundation. The Rittner Pride and Promise Foundation was established in 2011 to provide additional funding for programs and resources that contribute to the educational excellence for Rittner students. We've been around for more than a decade now, and in that short period of time, we've provided $200,000 to help Rittner students and educators through grants and scholarships. I'd like to call your attention to the video screen now to show you a short video that tells you a little bit more about the great work the Foundation does for our Rittner students and staff.
There's nothing quite like Rittner Pride. For generations, the Rittner School District has been the heart of its community, and the community has been the heart of the Rittner School District. Rittner has a rich tradition, an illustrious history that officially began in 1867. Rittner students have a one-of-a-kind experience no other school district can match. From eating a hamburger and French fries with mustard at the Handy House, to spending a Saturday night under the stars with friends at Chuck-a-Burger, there's nothing quite like the years spent at Rittner. Football games, homecoming, prom, working at the high school radio station, favorite teachers, many of our alumni's most cherished memories happened as a Rittner student. Rittner graduates prove the dedication to educational excellence. Doctors, lawyers, college professors, business leaders, military generals, musicians, actors, 2 Pulitzer Prize winners, the inventor of Crest toothpaste, and the former governor of Oregon, among many others, are all proud to say, "I went to Rittner." For generations, the Rittner community and schools have worked to educate all students. In 2011, the Rittner Pride and Promise Foundation was established to provide supplemental funding for programs that enhance the educational excellence of the Rittner School District. The Pride and Promise Foundation's mission is to raise money to support the students and teachers of the Rittner School District. Since its inception, our foundation has donated thousands of dollars back to students and teachers. The goal of the foundation is to provide learning programs and resources to students and staff that are not funded by tax dollars. There is no greater investment you can make than in the education of our children. We hope you share the belief that our youth represent the future of our community and deserve your support. We appreciate being considered as a beneficiary of your charitable dollars, and we pledge to use those dollars wisely. Not only are you helping our students, you will ensure the next generation continues the outstanding tradition of Rittner Pride.
So as the president of the Rittner Foundation, I am so thankful for the wonderful volunteer board that works hard to support the fundraising efforts and our work within the Rittner District. I think we have a few members of our foundation board here tonight. Please stand and be recognized, and members of our board, if you are here, please. I know we have several. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah. Thanks to our board for all their hard work, and a special thanks to our Rittner staff who serve on the foundation board. Doug Bray, our communications director here in the district, our newest member of the foundation board, Dr. Phil Pusateri, who's here tonight, who joined our board as treasurer in July, and of course Dr. Chris Kilbride, who's been an incredible supporter of the work we do in the foundation. And has been an incredible, he's been an incredible leader over the past 11 years here in the district. If you'd like to help support our foundation, our treasurer, Dr. Pusateri, has been instructed to carry deposit slips with him in his back pocket everywhere he goes. So please look him up after the ceremony tonight. He takes cash, checks, credit card, Bitcoin, and NFTs, and we are always fundraising. So I hope you'll consider us the next time you're making a charitable donation. Okay, so at this time, I would like to recognize all of our Hall of Fame committee members in attendance. Would those in attendance tonight please stand and be recognized? Their names are listed on the screen. Please give them a big round of applause for the work they do. And now, it is my great pleasure to begin our formal induction ceremony. For our 2024 Hall of Fame honorees, our 28th annual induction, let's get to know a little bit more about tonight's first Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Robert Courtney.
Robert Courtney, a distinguished alumnus of Rittner High School's class of 1957, has had an exemplary career marked by business success, civic leadership, and philanthropic dedication, making him a deserving inductee into the Rittner High School Hall of Fame. After graduating from Rittner, he earned a degree in business administration with a focus on accounting from the University of Missouri in 1961. His professional journey began with his service as a first lieutenant U.S. Army intelligence officer from 1962 to 1964. He then launched a successful business career in the office supply industry, holding leadership roles at Lackland Office Supply and Business Supply Centers. His business acumen later led him to a vice presidency at BT Office Products International. His leadership extended to industry organizations, including his roles as president of the Office Products Association of Greater St. Louis and chairman of the National Office Products Association. Throughout his career, he has been deeply committed to civic engagement and community service. His civic engagement includes being an active member of the Overland Rotary Club since 1971 and his service to youth as a coach and Boy Scouts of America leader. His commitment to education extends to the Rittner community. As a member of the Overland Rotary Club Scholarship Committee, he has been instrumental in supporting Rittner students' college aspirations. In 2021, he spearheaded an effort that resulted in a full 4-year scholarship for a Rittner senior to attend Central Methodist University. His service to Central Methodist has been particularly impactful. As a Board of Trustees member from 1995 to 2023, he played a pivotal role in the university's growth and transformation. He received an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters from the university in 2023. Robert Courtney's life exemplifies the values of leadership, innovation, and community service. From his successful business career to his transformative work in higher education and his unwavering commitment to civic engagement, he has made lasting contributions that have improved countless lives. His induction into the Rittner Hall of Fame is a fitting recognition of a life dedicated to excellence and service.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce an amazing businessman, veteran, and philanthropist. Please welcome to the Hall of Fame, Mr. Robert Courtney.
Change my glasses. You
talk about all the things that changed here. In my era going back, we were talking one building in the middle that is still the original building. You know, we had one gymnasium and one cafeteria. And you look at what's happened over these years, many years, how great a facility this is and what it's doing to serve the community and the students of Rittner High School. I am very honored to have been chosen to be a member of the Rittner High School Hall of Fame. My thanks go to my many friends who nominated me and the Rittner committee that made the selection. I will always be grateful. The Courtney family moved to Overland in the mid-1930s and lived there for 62 years. In 1954, my parents started an office supply business that served the Overland community for 35 years. My street growing up was South Milton, off of Lackland. With many of the kids in the same age range growing up on South Milton, we rode bikes, we played baseball, we sledded down a street that was never cleared. Many of my street mates had impressive achievements. A pitcher for the Missouri University Tigers, the owner of a firm that installed skylights, a Phi Beta Kappa, a president of a grocery distribution company, and a member of the pit crew for A.J. Foyt. So it was a very diverse and interesting group. The teachers in the Rittner district who helped me mold myself included Ms. Keith, Ms. Kelly, Mr. Provost, Mr. Ostergaard, Ms. Ray, and Lee. The most memorable of all my teachers in 12 years of schooling. And by the way, during my senior year, Rittner won 2 state championships, one in wrestling and one in baseball. Another important thing that occurred during my senior year was being elected a class officer. That was the beginning of attaining leadership skills that have served me for the rest of my life. My Rittner education led me to the University of Missouri and being commissioned in the United States Army. While serving in the Army in Germany, I thought about a return to civilian life and what I would consider fulfilling and successful. My degree was in accounting, so I tend to put things in categories. I looked at 4 specific areas. I'm going to call them pillars that I should focus on and to make an impact. These pillars were family, profession, industry, and community. My thought was if I could set goals to achieve some level of success or satisfaction in each of these areas, the result would be a meaningful and fulfilling life. The most important pillar was family. I built a loving and supporting life with my first wife, Sue, who died of complications of a double lung transplant 25 years ago. Our family was blessed with a son, Matt. He, his wife, Kathy, and their 2 children, Kate and Jack, have given me much joy. I remarried 23 years ago, and my second family with my wife, Becky, brought the joy of a stepdaughter, Samantha, and now a son-in-law, Jason. The second pillar of the fulfilling life was profession. I found a profession in an industry where I enjoyed the work and where my efforts made a difference. I built the office supply company started by my parents into a successful business that served the St. Louis community for 4 decades and provided employment for 100 workers. Making a difference in my industry was the third pillar. Early in my career, I became involved with local, regional, and national associations in the office products industry. This involved my serving as the president of the National Association and making many friends along the way. The fourth pillar was especially important, community. I got involved in the community to serve and make an impact. I volunteered on many boards, including the Northwest County YMCA. I served as an adult leader in the Boy Scouts at the troop and district level, earning the St. Louis Council's Silver Beaver Award. I am proud of being a 50-year member of the Overland Rotary Club. The club has supported many Rittner projects over the years, including scholarships for 50 years, dictionaries for third graders, and warm coats for students, just to name a few. For almost 60 years, I have been involved in my Methodist church, serving on and chairing many committees. This led to being involved at higher levels of the church, serving the statewide foundation, on an advisory board, assisting the bishop at Central Methodist University. My involvement at Central spanned 28 years, serving as chairman of the board of trustees and leading a strategic planning effort. Last spring, I had the honor of delivering the commencement address and being awarded the Doctor of Humane Letters. As a young 20-something looking down the road, that's how I've framed my future and what I would consider a successful and fulfilling life. Now that I'm in the twilight of my years, or as a golfer would say, you're on the back nine, I am proud of the outcome. I am humbled being inducted into the Rittner High School Hall of Fame. Thanks to all of you, particularly my friends and family, and especially Roger Drake, the president of Methodist University, who are here to celebrate with me tonight. And once again, thank you for listening to me, and thank you for being here, and wish much success to you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please join me again in congratulating Bob Courtney, and presenting his Hall of Fame portrait tonight is his son, Matt. Please welcome Matt to the stage. I'm so happy Matt's athletic and he didn't drop that portrait. Thank you, Bob and Matt. And now let's get to know a little more about our next Hall of Famer, who has spent much of his life committed to raising money to fight cancer. Let's take a closer look at the accomplishments of Mr. Greg Ransom.
Greg Ransom, a distinguished alumnus of Rittner High School's class of 1978, has become an extraordinary force for good in both the world of high school athletics and the fight against cancer. After graduating from the University of Missouri, Greg built a successful career at State Farm Insurance while dedicating himself to sports officiating and philanthropy. It is Greg's tireless work with the American Cancer Society that truly sets him apart. Inspired by his wife Carol's battle with breast cancer, Greg became a driving force behind the Coaches vs. Cancer initiative in St. Louis, founding the local chapter in 2008. Under his leadership, the St. Louis Coaches vs. Cancer chapter has made a tremendous impact, raising over $2 million for cancer research through events like the annual holiday tournament and painted games. These efforts have significantly raised cancer awareness among tens of thousands of people. Greg's influence extended to launching CEOs and Business Leaders Against Cancer in Missouri, which has raised $33 million for cancer research. His exceptional contributions have earned him numerous accolades, including a national award as the National Coaches vs. Cancer Official of the Year in 2022. Beyond fundraising, Greg demonstrates his compassion through direct service. For over a decade, he has led a group of volunteers in preparing and serving dinners to cancer patients and their families at ACS Hope Lodge in St. Louis. This personal touch has brought comfort and hope to over 1,000 cancer patients and their families during challenging times. Greg's legacy as a compassionate leader and dedicated philanthropist continues to inspire others. As he continues his mission to improve lives through sports and the fight against cancer, his legacy continues to grow. Greg Ransom's induction into the Rittner Hall of Fame is a testament to his exceptional character, unwavering commitment to service, and the profound difference one person can make in the lives of many.
Are the photos in these videos fantastic? I'd be okay if I never saw that shower photo ever. I think all three of those people are in this audience. I'm just going to say it. Now, before I invite Greg to the stage, I'd like to say a few words about Greg. When I first got word of the Hall of Fame class of 2024, I thought, this is great. We're honoring an influential, hardworking businessman, a beloved leader and educator, and Greg. Greg was a classmate of mine at Rittner. I mean, I guess he was a classmate, but that assumes that he actually went to class. But seriously, we've known each other since our playground days at Schaefer Park and St. Gregory's Church, and our friendship of nearly 50 years has been a blessing. Greg is one of the most selfless, honest, and good-hearted people I have ever met. He is a true definition of a servant leader, someone who lifts the people around him up. And I consider myself very lucky to call him my friend, and I'd like you all to welcome my good friend, Greg Ransom.
So one thing I got to do right off the bat, two things. First of all, Mikey said some nice things, so this is going to be bad. A salad on your first date? So I've had a lot of people texting me in the last couple of days, and they were telling me, take it all out. So I'm going to take it all in for a second, and I'm going to look out. Because once I get started with this, I really don't want to look at you, because I'm looking for the whole thing. Because I'm just so unbelievably grateful for just standing up here. So it's fun, and I'm taking it all in to look at y'all. So first, I do want to congratulate Mr. Courtney for his induction into the 2024 Hall of Fame class, and to Mrs. Nickens for her Lifetime Achievement Award. I read your bios and was so impressed with not just your personal accomplishments, but mostly what you have done for the community to make a better place to live in. Mrs. Nickens, I am keenly aware of what you've literally done for thousands of young people that you have positively affected in your career as a teacher and administrator. I'm very honored to be up here tonight to share the stage with both of you. I want to thank Superintendent Dr. Chris Kilbride, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Bruce Green, Rittner Board of Education, and the Rittner Hall of Fame Committee for their continued support in what I think is a wonderful program that recognizes so many deserving Rittner graduates. Your support of this program is appreciated. I would also be remiss if I didn't thank those who put this together, and I know I'm going to miss some people on this, but the two people in particular that I dealt with all the time and probably drove them crazy are Margarita Gunther and Doug Bray, who worked so hard to make this evening special for all of us. You have provided a wonderful night for me and the other honorees. You went above and beyond the call of duty, and I'm grateful to both of you for what you've done. I absolutely loved my time at Rittner. I made so many friends and had wonderful teachers, coaches, counselors, and administrators to guide me along my way. It was a special place to be. Rittner was the center of my universe for 4 years. I learned many life lessons here, some that I did not take advantage of until years after I left in 1978. I used a few lines from our alma mater that helped me explain this. The years that we spend with thee will live in memory and guide us on our way. The lessons I learned here helped guide me on my way to my future, and I thank those that played a part in this. I'm so happy and honored to be here tonight. Honest to God, this really is one of the thrills of my lifetime. I never had any thought that something like this would ever happen to me. I've been as excited as I have ever been for this day to come, and now I'm as nervous as hell. Talking in front of family is not easy. I want to thank Warner Baxter, Mike Stewart, Jerry Zeichen, Mark Castle, Scott Harris, Jason Smith, and Jason McClellan for taking the time to write letters of reference on my behalf. By the way, Warner Baxter, Mike Stewart, and Jerry Zeichen are all members of the Rittner Hall of Fame. I am so grateful to each one of you for taking the time to share your thoughts with the Hall of Fame committee that makes final decisions on who goes into the Rittner Hall of Fame. I clearly would not be standing here if it wasn't for the 7 of you. I want to acknowledge so many that took the time to be here. The fact that you are here makes me realize how blessed that I am to have you in my life. There are so many friends I've had for so many years that are here tonight. You came from Georgia, Kansas City, Texas, California. Friends dating back to my kindergarten days. People that I grew up with. This honor means nothing if I do not have anybody to share it with. My family is here and includes my brothers Larry, Chris and his wife Cheryl, Kevin and his wife Kathy, Glenn and his wife Alicia, Gary, Terry, and Warner and his wife Cindy. All except one were graduates of Rittner. My brothers have been teasing me, as brothers will do, since they found out about this honor, saying there must have been a mistake. They were saying amongst many other things, did they accidentally cut and paste somebody else's bio and give me the credit. My response to them was, Mom didn't raise a dummy, but if she did, it was one of them. My brother and sister-in-law from Texas, Rick and Kathy, came in. Most of my nieces and nephews are here from the Ransom, Baxter, and Stepanovich side. My two aunts, who have always been with me, are here tonight. I thank you all for coming. My wonderful mom is here. Quick story about my mom. When she heard about this honor, she was reminiscing about how much she enjoyed going to all of the basketball and football games when all of my brothers and I were going to school here. She then said she remembered one office at the front of the school that she was in, but she couldn't remember what that office was for. I had to remind her that was the assistant principal's office in charge of discipline. I said, Mom, you were in there because of my brothers, not me. Got you back. Last but certainly not least is my wife, Carol, of 41 years. Carol retired as an elementary school principal. For those that knew me in my early years would never have believed that I would have married a grade school principal, but I did. Carol is one of the main reasons why I stand here today. She herself is a member of the 2022 class of the American Cancer Society Hall of Fame. I will speak about her today. This event has brought us all together, but it is you who have made it so special. Again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here. I have come to some of these events in the past years, and every time I do, I can't believe the people whose photos are up on the wall in the lobby representing the Rittner Hall of Fame. Doctors, lawyers, CEOs of major corporations, entrepreneurs, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalists, one of the inventors of Crest toothpaste, an Apollo 13 scientist, Grammy Award-winning musicians, world-class cardiologists, judges, professional athletes, military Medal of Honor recipients, professional actors, educators, presidents of universities. I can keep going. There are many more that I did not mention. These people just didn't have a significant impact on their local community. Many had huge impacts on an international community. I am grateful and humbled to now be a part of this group, and unbelievably proud to say I went to Rittner. From May 20th, the day I received my letter informing me that I was going into the 2024 Rittner Hall of Fame class, to today, September 20th, I simply have not been able to come up with any words to describe how very honored I am to be a part of this group. Completely overwhelmed. You may have heard the analogy of a stone that gets tossed into the pond and causes ripples to radiate across the surface of the pond in all directions. I hope that this doesn't sound arrogant on my part, because I certainly don't mean for it to sound that way. But I consider myself that person that helped create that ripple across the pond. I read a quote from a book that I was reading recently. I expect to pass through this world but once. If therefore there could be any kindness I can show, or any good that I can do to my fellow being, let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. You know, life really is about perspective. There were some key moments in my life that changed my perspective in the way that I chose to live my life. In 1986, one of my brothers lost his wife to cancer. And in 2003, my wife was diagnosed with cancer. When cancer hits you under your own roof, it becomes very personal. It wakes you up. There were so many other friends and family between 1986 and now that have and are currently fighting that battle. My perspective changed. I saw what cancer did to my wife's body. I made the commitment that I would never be in a position again that I didn't try to do something to help, not just my wife, but for all of those that would be in the same position that we found ourselves in. I also wanted to be a part of helping high school students find ways to afford post-high school educational opportunities. I wasn't your perfect high school student and made my share of mistakes. This gave me an opportunity to make a positive difference in some kids' lives. So we started a scholarship committee and worked to create funds that helps area high school students that have achieved a high level of success in the classroom and have been a positive influence in their high school community. These scholarships are based on financial need. The scholarship committee awards scholarships to deserving students for their future post-high school educational endeavors. In 2010, we joined an organization called the Coaches vs. Cancer. Coaches vs. Cancer was started by the former Missouri basketball coach Norm Stewart. We helped start a basketball tournament with others in this room, with proceeds going to the Coaches vs. Cancer program. I simply used the platform I had as an assigner of basketball and football officials to help raise money and do something good for our community. But as important as raising money is, we also brought awareness to what you can do to help others by educating high school students about early detection and living a healthier lifestyle. It is extremely important for me to use the word we instead of me. This has always been a team effort. No one goes this alone. There are many that have been part of this team, many that are in this room tonight that deserve our gratitude for what they have done. The Coaches vs. Cancer program and the IFO Scholarship Fund have combined to raise millions of dollars, and I'm very proud to say that I have just been a part of that. Norm Stewart said once in a meeting that I was blessed to attend. When he was asked, what can we do to help? He simply said, do what you can do, but just do it. To me, that was something so very simple. It was a challenge to me. Don't wait for an immediate loved one to be told that they have cancer to start doing something to help somebody else. I was encouraged to do something in the community that makes a positive difference. There are so many people and organizations that can use help. Do what you can do, just do it. So simply by tossing that pebble in the pond, I am honored to be a part of the ripple that has helped so many people. I am so proud to have been a part of that and to ride the waves with so many caring people. In closing, I'd like to read something that I read that means a lot to me, and it really is kind of how I think. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. What you spend years building, someone can destroy overnight. Build anyway. The good you do today, people may forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best that you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best that you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and your God anyway. One last time, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here tonight.
Please join me in congratulating Rittner Hall of Fame inductee, Greg Ransom. Are his wife Carol, his brother Chris, and his very good friends Warner Baxter and Mark Hassel. Greg has tied the record for most people presenting his portrait. That's why I just went ahead and jumped in on it. Because it is about me. And now, it's an honor to share a video about tonight's Lifetime Achievement Award honoree, Kathy Nichols.
Kathy Nichols has dedicated her life to serving the Rittner School District and community with unwavering commitment and compassion. Though not a Rittner graduate, she has embodied the district spirit for decades as an educator, administrator, and volunteer. Joining Rittner High School as a teacher in 1974, Kathy quickly became known for her engaging presence and genuine care for students. She went above and beyond to support every child, often providing supplies, clothing, or a listening ear. Kathy's impact grew as she transitioned to administrative roles, including assistant principal at Rittner High School and Hake Middle School. Known for her boundless energy, Kathy was often the first to arrive and last to leave, always proudly wearing Rittner black and orange. Her leadership was instrumental in passing critical bond issues, organizing events like Operation Graduation, and leading community outreach efforts. Kathy's deep personal connections with students allowed her to offer firm but compassionate guidance. Kathy's commitment extended far beyond the school day. She opened her home to foreign exchange students, volunteered with numerous community organizations, and continued supporting Rittner initiatives long after retirement in 2002. Kathy served as president of the Rittner Optimist Club for 19 years and oversaw the Rittner Meals on Wheels program. From leading Sunday school classes to coordinating the Rittner Alumni Choir Foundation, Kathy's servant heart touched lives across generations. Kathy Nichols embodies the ideals of a Lifetime Achievement honoree. Through her tireless efforts, compassionate leadership, and genuine love for education, Kathy has truly exemplified what it means to have black and orange running through her veins. Kathy Nichols' decades of service and unwavering support have left a lasting mark on the Rittner School District, inspiring all who have known her.
I can tell you all of us who attended Rittner during the Kathy Nichols era were truly blessed. She is a wonderful educator and an amazing community servant, and I'd like to welcome her as the Lifetime Achievement Award honoree tonight, Kathy Nickens.
Those of you who knew my husband, Dean, he's with us. What an evening. Congratulations to Bob and Greg, fellow inductees. Thank you for all that you've done professionally and civically to make our world a better place. Thank you for being an inspiration to our current students, and that's why we founded this alumni gathering tonight, to honor these folks. Thank you to all who have made this night possible, from the Rittner Board of Education, Hall of Fame Committee, to Doug Ray and his staff, especially Margarita, who had to put up with me. Thank you to Mary Kay Nolan, whose mom went to high school with my dad in Montgomery City, Missouri, for the nomination, and to all who wrote letters of support. Those letters are treasures to be stored with my other valuables in my lingerie drawer. Last but definitely not least, I thank my late great husband, Dean T. Nickens, class of 1966, for introducing me to Rittner. And our children, Tara and Brett, for sharing their time, talent, and mom with the Rittner family. My family deserves recognition for tonight's honor as well. All three jumped in, passing a bond issue, hosting an AFS student, or chaperoning a dance. Please give them a round of applause. That now includes son-in-law Mike and grandsons that you'll hear about more. And you saw in the pictures, weren't they cute? Good reason to retire. Before I begin my 5 to 7 minutes to sum up 50 years of Rittner memories and highlights, I also want to thank the members of my biological family, my church family, my Mall Walker and Rittner family for attending tonight. You all have earned an excused absence for my funeral. All you have to do is sign the guest books Tara and Brett will have in the foyer as you leave. In August of 1972, Tara at 13 months and I walked to Rittner Senior High from our pastoral apartment to meet my cooperating teacher, Bernie McCann. For a small-town girl who had an outhouse until she was 10 and a hometown of 69 people, Danville, Missouri, entering a school with nearly 2,000 students and staff was a bit daunting. But I was pursuing a dream of becoming a teacher that began when Mrs. Frances Parkey, a second-grade teacher at New Florence Elementary School, let this pudgy, extremely nearsighted girl read the new books during recess. A building with 2,000 folks in it, more people than in our county seat, was not going to stop me. With Bernie's guidance and advice, Bill Shelton next door, and challenging, the upper-level juniors in American history, student teaching was a delightful success, and I fell for the Rittner family, students, staff, and community. In November of '73, I was a permanent substitute and taught anthropology and sociology, note not a U.S. history class. Mr. Cantley once said famously, or infamously, in a faculty meeting, give a teacher a book and he or she can teach. That was a challenge for me having no background in this subject, so I enrolled in a class, of anthropology class at UMSL, and learned along with my students. A student named Miller, spelled M-U-E-L-E-R, told me the next year he was majoring in anthropology at Mizzou because of me. I still shake my head on that one. I'm going to be politically incorrect here. I wasn't sure if it was my knowledge or maybe something else. I don't know what's going on there. During the 70s at Rittner, musicals with talented students in the girls' gym, rhythmettes and band events, Normandy basketball tournaments, Granite City wrestling tournament, RGAA fashion show, NHS float trip, square dancing at the high school, then ice cream at the Nickens, Aereos before a football game, faculty parties after the football game, etc. were highlights of those years. Our son Brett was born in November '78, just after the Day of Concern, so I was not picketing, but some folks did come to our house to warm up and eat chili or soup that day. Brett visited my students in January upon my return to teaching, and Robin Coe held him in the psychology class that I taught. Note again, not U.S. history. And stated, "This is the first baby I ever held." And I'm so glad she didn't drop him. Just the beginning of the many hours he spent at Rittner during rhythmette practices or student council events. In 80-81, Rittner Senior became Rittner High again. And highlights for me were STUCO, Students and Teachers United, Caring for Others. Leadership classes filled with talented, caring students with STUCO presidents Jean Mosley Sander, Don Tabor, Phil Andrews, Lane Troutline, and Amy Wanley. Not enough time to name all of the great kids who gave so many hours of service to their schoolmates and community. Blood drives, senior citizens dinners, Meals on Wheels to shut-ins on holidays, bonfires, parades, alumni reception and dances, activity-thons to raise money for Missouri kids, and even staying up all night to make 2,000 RHS Loves You buttons for students and staff at Rittner for one of our Valentine days. They worked selflessly. I am so proud of them and know many of them continue in service to others professionally and civically today. Now, one thing about the 80s, and I think it's resuming a little bit, TPing a house was a way that you were shown love, but they didn't come back and clean it up. One night, Dean and I were in bed and we had the window open and we heard the shh of one of the rolls of toilet paper. So he said, "I'm going to get them this time," because I don't know how many times they've done this. So he goes out the back door, gets our water hose, hooks it up, walks around, sneaks around, and catches them and hoses them down. And if those of you who've been to our house for parties, you know our upper steps there, they couldn't get down, so they really got wet. And I think they stopped after that. 80 highlights continue. Summer school fun. Thank you, Jerry Sandwise and Don Maxey. Sharing an office with Brenda Skillman and the sweetest secretary ever, Donna Jones. 97-cent tax levy passage assignment with John Proud, my great friend. Librarian for a year with great volunteers like Lee Short, who became a dear friend. And some of those volunteers even became employees of the district. No PDA in the halls. And I became an assistant principal at RHS in 88-89, just in time to embarrass Tara during her senior year. Had the privilege of being a class of 92's principal for 4 years. They were such a great group of kids. Duran Jenkins, also in the Hall of Fame, is one of my 92 kids and is here tonight, all the way from Nashville. He got here just for me, and I appreciate that so much. What a great guy. Danny Bourne had this good idea about hosting the transfer students on the basketball team on Fridays when they had a home game and needed a place to hang out after school. He and I alternated hosting at our homes that winter, and what a delight. Duran, do you remember ironing your uniform before the game? Are the guys giving each other haircuts while others played Nintendo with Brett before we had lasagna or pizza? I had to find the iron because Dean did all the ironing at our house while I watched The Godfather. I think I may still owe a meal to the teammates who did not live in the city. After the class of '92 filled with such talented students in academics, athletics, and music graduated, I had the pleasure of working with the best boss ever, Jack Williams, who would say, "Have you been walking today?" when I would come in with all these ideas about what we could do to make things go at school. Ann Kallmeyer, and a super dedicated staff at Hake Middle. What a shock when I entered the cafeteria the first day and saw the energetic frenzy in the cafeteria. Touch, then run was something to behold. My love for acronyms hit high gear and KOTO was created. Keep our hands to ourselves. Lo and behold, it worked. It was not long after going to all of the classrooms to explain the concept, a student in the cafeteria line would say, "Mrs. Nickens, Johnny's not practicing KOTO." The use of acronyms also helped in the 97-cent tax levy campaign after we lost soundly on a sneak it through vote in February 1987 that had a 70 or 80 degree day voting day. Went to Dr. John DeArmond's office the morning after the defeat with the I Care campaign, as I felt no one could say they did not care about kids. It worked. Rittner parents, staff, and community have supported tax levies and bond issues since that campaign to provide great facilities and opportunities for Rittner students. You are sitting in one of those facilities due to the passage of the Prop K campaign in 2008. Thank you to all who have ever donated time and energy in any way to support these elections. I also have thank you coasters from Prop K if you did not get one. They are available by those guest books as you leave in the foyer tonight. On the table to the left, please take one, even if you didn't vote, do any of the work. Brett wants to clean those out. In the late 90s, the brownies for the team that defeats Pattonville began. Returned to RHS in the fall of '96 to be a transition 9th grade principal after seeing how hard the middle school teachers at Hake worked with their students to get them prepared for high school, exemplified by Jackie Becker and Dave Thomas, who are here tonight. My first freshman group was the class of 2000, who made my job easy, as they had benefited from being told how special they were since kindergarten, and they excelled in everything. Once again, my years as a 9th grade principal were filled with lots of joy, working closely with my second best boss, the late Bill Cordy, who would forgive me with, "I know what you did was in the best interest of the kids." Bob Powell, Ingrid Clark Jackson, and office mate Roosevelt Ferguson, and dedicated 9th grade teachers who gave so much time to teaming projects and reward programs. Sally Rainey, the 9th grade secretary, showered our students, staff, and parents with her gracious ways every day. She also had to look out for my crazy antics with the walkie-talkie. I thought I was invincible with that walkie-talkie. When I carried it around, here's proof. We did not have metal detectors, security cameras during the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s for intruders. If someone entered this building with a hat on and did not take it off, if he or she saw a teacher or principal, any staff member, then we knew he or she was an intruder. One afternoon, just as school was letting out, one of the Powells, I can't remember if it was Gary or Bob, let us know via the walkie-talkies that 2 guys with hats on were in the foyer and just run out of the building. He gave us descriptions, and as buses were leaving, I had the Bristol Gate and street assignment. The police had been notified. I saw 2 young men running toward me, toward a parked car, and I put my foot on that bumper after they jumped in it, with my walkie-talkie clutched to my chest, and I said, "The police are on their way." They immediately jumped out of the car and said, "We ain't waiting, lady," and took off. They were apprehended and they had stolen the car, so we did catch the thieves. Needless to say, Dean thought it was a bad idea to try to stop car thieves with a foot and a walkie-talkie. In 2001, Connor and Patrick Murray gave me a reason to retire in 2002, and you saw how cute they were. Dr. Dorr, I know you're not here, but you're here somewhere in the world. Dean and I thank you for the raise that last year for our retirement. In retirement, our lives were blessed with more grandsons, Canon Thomas and Theo Dean, as well as opportunities to serve the Rittner community. We raised money for scholarships with the Optimist Club of Rittner, planned activities for the Rittner Alumni Association, and delivered Meals on Wheels, etc., etc., etc. What a pleasure to deliver meals with grandsons and dear friend Sandy Latham. I encourage all of you who have not done such an activity to join in that fun. And I appreciate all of you that have. Our church partnered with the Rittner Meals program and Meals on Wheels, and now is housed there instead of the district. It has been 22 years, but I still miss the interactions with students and staff and community, the start of a new school year, lots of buses lining up, the smells of the building, with one exception, the wrestling mat room. And now if they got a new one I haven't seen, I guess there's no smell yet. Seriously, my motto for new teachers: truly love the students, and they will learn, and they will do anything for you. I truly love my Rittner family. And I thank all of you for being here tonight, for Rob, Greg, and me.
Kathy Nichols. Presenting her award this evening are her daughter, Tara Murray, her son, Brett Dickens, and her dear friend, Mary Kay Nolan. And anyone else, she's trying to break Greg's record.
Our Colombian daughter is going to join us. Dutch, Russian. Okay, look at the jump.
I don't want Kathy to get too far away. She's not done yet tonight. It's been a wonderful evening, honoring such outstanding Rittner alumni. It's so good to have our Rittner family back together again. Each of the honorees will receive a shirt, by the way, that looks just like this. Yeah. obligation. I'll put this on. Never mind. You got to try, though. You just got to try. So that shirt's available to you, all our honorees. You can wear that in the parade tomorrow. There'll be a great parade tomorrow with honoring our homecoming, and our honorees will be a part of that parade. We hope you'll all come out and show your Husky pride. And now, the night wouldn't be complete without the singing of our alma mater. And I'd like to invite Kathy back on the stage with her ensemble. And she will lead us in the alma mater. And those of you, don't be afraid, the words will be on the screen.
Okay, now you need to stand up, because you gotta stomp. Those of you who are old enough to remember when you were rhythm band and the pep club and beat on the buses that came over the hill in Bristol at a certain point. If you remember, I'll hear you. Okay? Are you ready?
Let's give a big round of applause for our honorees one more time tonight. Just a quick note, all of our Hall of Fame recipients, we're going to need to get one more photo of you with your portrait out in the lobby, so don't go too far away. And let them get their photo before you chat them up and get their autograph. So if they would start to make their way out there right now, that would be great. Okay? I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I wish everyone a safe and enjoyable homecoming weekend. Before we go, how about our crew that did such a wonderful job with these videos? I hope you all found it to be a lot of fun. I wish everybody a safe and enjoyable holiday homecoming weekend, which is kind of a holiday.